In your book, you talk about focusing on the user versus the platform and engaging in a conversation. Now, we talked a bit about that a little earlier here, but how does someone go about engaging in a conversation on in social media? I know that's kind of how long is a piece of string, but let's just say, how does someone go about engaging in a conversation on, say, LinkedIn?
Okay. Well, first of all, the groups are powerful to engage in conversations, and then you can start moving those conversations to sometimes emails. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a group. One of the groups the group I manage is called the Psychological Marketing Network, and I've got it tightened down pretty much where you've got to use a discussion because I don't allow you to post your own blogs and that type of thing. But I am always shocked that when we write something and I'll comment and I'll be writing back and we're going in this discussion, that all of a sudden it moves to the email. And now it's a conversation to the point where literally I was helping somebody, helping them figure out how to build a convalescent center in Indiana or Illinois. And that's just because we're having conversation, which couldn't happen otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you do long blog form, here's where people miss it. People are posting comments. Why aren't you commenting back to these people?
Yep.
Right? Because it lets them know that they're important, that what they had to say was important. Even if they disagreed with me, I've got no problem with people disagreeing. Matter of fact, I respect the fact that you have an opinion that's even opposed to mine. I want to hear more, which creates more dialogue,
yep.
right? Otherwise, it's monologue. That's not what these cultures are about. These cultures were never about monologues.
Yeah.
These cultures were about dialogues. So even when you go to Facebook, you want to create a dialogue, not just a like, right? Likes are easy, but when you take the time to actually make a thought, intentional comment, and you start to create the conversation, that's when it gets powerful. Especially to somebody, we call in psychology the strength of ties, right? You have strong ties and then not so strong ties. And not so strong ties are people we don't know so well, but are part of our kind of that outer circle.
Yep.
It's amazing how you create a conversation in Facebook with somebody who's a weaker tie, how much stronger that tie gets over the course of time.
Mm-hmm.
And even this person who you may have never seen face to face comes to your defense on Facebook if anybody ever says anything or, likes what you do. So creating that conversation is really part of commenting and then replying. And Facebook has done a great job here, I think, too, of now you can directly reply to somebody's comment, right? Rather than just putting another comment below it, you can directly reply to it. And that creates conversation. And that's what this is about. Twitter, we have some questions because even Dorsey, who founded this whole thing, has said, well, I'm not so sure it's so social, but it is really informational.
Yeah.
So that can be a little bit more difficult to create the conversation, although some of them do happen. So you have to kind of understand when we talk about creating conversation that it's going to maybe look different from culture to culture because the platforms are uniquely culturally different.